All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Convergence webinar on trends in finance. We'll be talking about AI, we'll be talking about data visualization, and really applying it to the world of finance. So for all of you CFOs and directors of finance and accountants on this call, certainly looking forward to providing tons of value in our conversation today. A few housekeeping items. You'll find a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Please post any questions that you might have. We will likely keep them to the end of our presentation, but we do have enough time set aside to make sure that we get to all of your questions. We are also recording this webinar. Everyone who is registered or is present today, you will receive an email with a link. It's going to be posted on our YouTube channel as well. I'd like to intro our speakers today. So we have two of our experts on our modern work practice and our data and analysis practice. Joining me today, we have Ryan Bialik and Kyle Braun. Both are here to share their expertise, their insights, and the type of work that they've been doing with customers for many years. I'll take a minute and give you a bit of a sense of who we are at Convergence for those of you who are not our customers on today's call. Convergence, we've been doing this for a very long time. We've been doing IT and cybersecurity for many, many years, about 25, according to the slide. Many of our people for longer than that. We are a North American-wide MSP. We service many markets. One of our core beliefs is the importance of servicing our customers locally, building personal relationships, so that we can provide the best service and support to all of our customers. But with our scale, we also offer the sophistication and the depth and breadth of expertise that many of you require to take full advantage of your IT investments. And on that, today's topic is a great illustration of the expertise that Convergence brings to the table. And we'll be talking about a topic that's top of mind for many of our customers. We're hearing about this over and over again. How do I use AI? How do I leverage it to gain more insight, more intelligence in my business? And today we're going to be talking more specifically about finance. So definitely hope that you all get a ton of value out of this. And like I said earlier, this session is recorded, and therefore you're all going to have an opportunity to go back and review and listen in. And we will welcome your questions, and we will welcome any follow-up conversations that anyone wants to have on the topic. So without further ado, let's move over to the smart people that have great things to say, the ones that you've been waiting to hear from. So Ryan, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Right on. Thank you so much, Danny. And thank you all of you for taking some time out of the day. Maybe it's your lunch break. Maybe this is part of your morning routine, but here we are sharing some time together. And we're really looking forward to covering some interesting material. Not quite split down the middle, but we are splitting speaking duties. Myself here, going to take you through some trends in finance. We're going to come at that from more of an IT or technology perspective, if you will. I'm going to tee up the conversation around AI, bring it into the finance office, if you will, before turning over to my colleague Kyle, who's going to take you through some sort of challenges around visualizing financial data, especially with accounting packages and ERP systems. We're going to cover Microsoft Power BI, again, our tool of choice for data analytics. I know Kyle is got some Rock'em Sock'em demos ready. And then again, just to bring the conversation full circle, let's bring it back to AI and Power BI. So to get things started, again, this is trends in, or we're trying to start a trend here with some of our webinar topics. So let's see what's just trending in the world of finance. Again, from that IT perspective, it's still the cloud. It is the cloud. It is certainly the dominant conversation when we're talking about trends in, whether it's fintech, whether it's software as a service that's moving to the cloud, traditional applications and traditional vendors looking more into a software as a service per user per month type of model. And this is great. This is actually good and welcome news. With cloud-based accounting, there's no need for expensive servers and big upgrades every few years. The refresh cycle. This accounting and finance and ERP typically is one of the last applications, preventing organizations from going, all in on the cloud, and reducing their physical IT footprint. And a couple of different models here. We're again seeing software as a service, your QuickBooks Online, your Sage Online, um, larger sort of mid-market applications like Business Central and well beyond. But there is also the opportunity here to take your very, very industry specific line of business app or your very, very industry specific ERP application and just host them in the cloud. Use them the same way you have been using, but at least get rid of that physical IT footprint. And great benefits there. Again, that means you can access from anywhere at any time. Of course, COVID and all of the lockdowns, and that taught us the lessons around being able to get to our ERPs and our accounting packages without the VPNs, without the crazy remote desktop, without standing on your head and trying to get back to things at the office. The cloud certainly ticks those boxes for us. Things like maintenance, updates, backups, patching, again, all managed by either a software vendor or your managed IT service provider. And that means that your organization you can focus on the things that you've got to focus on in the finance department. You can grow, you can shift, you can change, you can react to what's going on in the market without having to worry about just keeping those operational applications running. And not to mention, too, the security, the compliance when things are in a data center that is built to host those types of applications. And cloud based accounting also lets us tell a little bit more of a nuanced story around integration. A lot of these modern applications are open, they have APIs. We can connect to them, we can pull data out, as Kyle's going to talk about in a few minutes. We can push data in to these applications. And of course, we're talking about AI here. So having that ability to integrate AI bots and agents with your accounting package is well, pardon the pun, it's money. One of the great integration possibilities is not angry robots. However, it is robotic process automation. And this is another big sort of trend that we're hearing and speaking about in the finance world. RPA, robotic process automation, involves using software bots, if you will, to do those repetitive, rule based, very, very logical things that have been traditionally performed by a human. And in finance, that can be things like approvals, like reading through invoices, item classification or expense classification. And we've been doing this, and we really have been talking about this for years and years, but bringing AI into the conversation, we've got some examples a little later on, has certainly brought some new exciting possibilities here. The great thing about RPA and process automation um, is really speed. You can get a lot more done in a lot less time. If you're not rekeying things, you're removing the a possibility of error and human error, and that all brings again some great cost savings down to the bottom line. So we're very, very excited and very, very bullish, quite frankly, about RPA in finance, especially if you tag on AI into that conversation as well. So wait, what about AI? I'm 10 slides in already, and we really haven't talked about AI. So let's dip back to what we've been talking about as part of our AI strategy for our customers is, of course, starting small through productivity and working our way up into more ingrained custom AI agents and co-pilots across an organization. If we go back to some research we have from Microsoft and LinkedIn from their 2024 Work Trends Index, we know, and again, our AI strategy is centered around this. We know that everybody is just overworked. We're over-indexed. I was talking with Danny the other day. I've tried to invent MERS Day and I've tried to invent the month of April. We're just perpetually short of time to get our work done. So we know that AI can come to bear and deliver results there, helping us get more done in less time. Another really interesting finding, and again, this does play into our the timeliness of our AI strategy, is the willingness of employees to delegate work to AI. Around 70% of individuals from this Microsoft survey reported they're just comfortable. It's time. The time is right to delegate tasks to AI. And certainly the proof is out there. And this is the last stat that I have, again, from that LinkedIn Microsoft Work Trend Index. This was the results of what they call skill aptitude, sort of the aptitude around AI heating up across different job titles. So if you look a little down the list there, number 10 and I believe it's number 16, a couple of finance, a couple of accounting related roles where we're starting to see a warming up of AI aptitude. And again, that signals to us that there are users in those jobs, in those departments, across organizations that are just hungry to use more AI capabilities. And we see that manifest in really two different sections. I call it the 1-2 punch of AI in finance and accounting. The first one being across productivity, which is really the low hanging fruit when it comes to AI in finance. And then we see some more specific finance applications. So cross productivity agents, products like ChatGPT, sure, absolutely. In our world, Microsoft 365 Copilot, again, it's second to none when it comes to a productivity based agent in your day to day type of work. And then again, over in finance applications, it could be products like Dynamics 365, products like Wave, and even from the big, the big few accounting SaaS applications like Intuit and Sage, we're seeing the integration of AI agents and bots in their products. And even fintech startups, if you will. This is not a fintech podcast, so we won't go there. But products like Ramp, again, there's sort of a new set of players emerging in that AI and finance space. And just a couple of examples before I turn the mic over to Kyle, again, of using some of this specialized AI in finance. For example, using an agent or using a copilot to reconcile the books, reconcile an account. This screen grab is from Dynamics 365 Business Central, has a copilot module. And again, here you can import transaction data. You can attach, a CSV if you need to. Probably prepping all those journal entries separately, anyways. Here's a way to use AI to help you do your account recs. Here's another one from QuickBooks. Again, using natural language and having the system generate an invoice for you. So instead of going line by line and entering your products and services, here's a quick way, maybe even using your voice and using annotation to create an invoice using an AI agent. Next one here again, and this dovetails into what Kyle's going to be speaking about, is bringing information out of your accounting, bringing information out from your GL, your CRM, your ERP. So here we're talking in natural language to a copilot to find some data around where our top customers are geographically. And again, some great potential to save time. This works great for folks that have these kinds of licenses, but some shortcomings with some of these tools, which Kyle is going to talk us through. But very, very exciting things here in the space of accounting and AI. Again, imagine users being able to ask a finance-related question without having access to the finance app. Being able to restrict where users can pull their information from, maybe this GL, not that GL, this trial balance, not that trial balance. We have that granularity now in terms of governance and permissions. So that's the tee up, and ultimately Kyle's going to take us through the next few topics here around visualizing some data. I believe we have a poll question coming on screen just now, and I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Braun.
Thank you, Ryan.
while Kyle is firing up his screen share, again, just a poll on screen right now. If you don't mind just letting us know what you think your biggest barrier to adopting AI in the finance department could be.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ryan, for kicking things off for us today. Now, for the remainder of today's session, we're going to be reviewing some of the limitations of the built-in reporting available natively within your accounting software packages and how integrating and visualizing this data in the Power BI platform can help to remedy these issues. And at the very end, we're going to touch on how you can blend business intelligence within artificial intelligence to elevate your accounting data even further. So, if you've joined today's session, you're likely already familiar with at least one of these accounting platforms. And it goes without saying that if you're an accountant, you live and breathe in these platforms. So you're inputting data and submitting journal entries and exporting data using the reporting tool available within the platform. But we often hear from our friends in accounting that they're concerned that they're not making the best use of this data. We hear that the reporting tool doesn't exactly meet their expectations and that they're forced into tedious manual work in order to compensate for these deficiencies. So, specifically, we hear 5 common pain points associated with these built in reporting features. The first of which is lack of customization. So many built-in reporting tools offer limited flexibility in terms of report design and layout. Now, this can make it difficult to tailor reports to specific needs or preferences, leading to a one-size-fits-all approach that may or may not be suitable for all users. Another significant issue is the need for manual data manipulation. So often users have to export data to spreadsheets or CSV files and make manual adjustments to meet their reporting requirements. Now, this process can be very time consuming, especially considering reports that are required on a reoccurring basis. So either monthly, weekly, or maybe even daily. Now, this process is also prone to typographical errors, which can compromise the accuracy of these reports. And on this note, report creators are often responsible for producing multiple versions of reports to accommodate different stakeholder needs and to ensure that these stakeholders only see the data that is relevant to them. Now, this redundancy increases workload and can lead to inconsistencies in the data presented. Built-in reporting tools typically struggle to blend data from external sources. Now, this limitation means that users cannot easily combine data from different systems or platforms, which can result in an incomplete picture of your organization's financial landscape. Also, some organizations prefer to augment their financial data with custom account categories or projections, not directly available in the accounting platform itself. Now, this type of supplementary data is usually blended in during the manual report creation process and is again ripe for error. And finally, there is often a need to limit access to the accounting platform itself. Organizations may want to share reports with external stakeholders or maybe some team members without granting them full access to the platform. Built-in tools may not offer the necessary security and sharing options to facilitate this, leading to potential data security concerns. Now, these pain points highlight the limitations of relying solely on built-in reporting features within accounting platforms. And they underscore the need for more robust, flexible, and secure reporting solutions, like those offered with Power BI. Now, before we dive into Power BI and talk about how Power BI can remedy these pain points, let's start with a brief introduction of the platform. So Power BI is a powerful business analytics tool developed by Microsoft. It enables users to visualize and share insights from their data in a highly interactive and intuitive manner. Now, more recently, Power BI is now just one component of Microsoft's larger data platform called Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric includes enterprise-grade tooling and cloud services to facilitate each stage in the data lifecycle, including data ingestion, preparation, storage, analysis, and of course, visualization. So now that we have a basic understanding of what Power BI is, let's delve into some of the platform's key features. So Power BI excels in data visualization. It contains a robust suite of visual options which allow you to take the complexity out of your data and to view it at the level of granularity that works for you. All the usual suspects are here. So we have bar charts and pie charts, heat maps, funnel charts, and for the more data savvy users, the humble table visual is here as well to help you view your data as you would in an Excel spreadsheet. Now, one of the standout features of Power BI is its ability to produce dashboards that are interactive and dynamic. So gone are the days where users are looking at a static PDF or PowerPoint slide to consume their data insights. With Power BI, you can drill down into specific data points and filter information on the fly, allowing you to explore your data on your terms. All of this is available in an easy-to-use user interface without the need for any coding knowledge or Excel formulas. Now, it goes without saying that data quality and accuracy is crucial in the worlds of finance and accounting. And Power BI includes the ability to transform and cleanse your data through processes that are automated and consistent. The data processing rules are set up once and run through in sequence the same way each time new data is populated. Now, this ensures that your reports are based on accurate and reliable information by reducing the risk of transcription or data processing errors. And it also goes without saying that data security is paramount here. And Microsoft provides robust security provisions around access to Power BI dashboards, which includes a concept called row-level security, allowing you to control access to your data, as the name suggests, at the row level. Now, this allows you to control who can see what data, ensuring that sensitive information is protected and only accessible to authorized personnel. And finally, Power BI makes collaboration and sharing easy. Since Power BI lives within the Microsoft ecosystem, your Power BI dashboards can live where you do. We can embed them in Teams, your existing SharePoint site, in your PowerPoint slide decks, and the list goes on. This helps to ensure that everyone has access to the same insights and are able to work together more effectively. Now, these features collectively make Power BI a powerful tool and a great choice for enhancing reporting and analytics in the finance and accounting sectors. Okay, so next, let's talk through how Power BI can address the issues with the built-in reporting tools we described previously. So Power BI offers extensive customization options for reports. We can design and lay out your reports exactly as needed, tailoring them to specific requirements and preferences. But having said that, if you're new to data and dashboarding, let us guide you through the dashboard design process. We'll ensure that the end product aligns with business intelligence best practices to make sure that your dashboard promotes data-driven decision-making in your organization. Now, with Power BI, manual data manipulation becomes a thing of the past. Power BI allows for the automation of cleaning, transforming, and preparing your data for downstream analysis or reporting. So gone are the days of extracting that same CSV file from your accounting platform and spending precious time tweaking it so that your reports work correctly. And again, this automation reduces the risk of errors and saves valuable time, ensuring that your reports are based on accurate and reliable data. Now, Power BI's row-level security feature allows for the creation of a single report that can display different views for different users. So this means that you can accommodate various stakeholders' needs without generating multiple versions of the same report. Each user sees only the data that they are authorized to access. So, for instance, we can build a dashboard that only shows journal entries corresponding to each manager's business unit in your organization. So the marketing manager only sees marketing-related journal entries, the shipping manager only sees journal entries pertaining to shipping, and so on. Now, as we mentioned previously, Power BI excels at integrating and blending data from multiple sources. Now, you can easily combine data from your accounting platform with external data sources, providing a comprehensive view of your financial landscape. Now, this capability ensures that your dashboards capture the whole data story and not just the chapter. Now, for instance, we could pair your CRM data with your accounts receivable data to produce a dashboard that highlights amounts owing for each client. And on this note, Power BI allows you to enrich your reports with internal category schemas, projections, and other relevant data. And of course, we can build a solution that automates this enrichment, no VLOOKUPs required. And again, Power BI makes report and dashboard access easy with seamless integrations with Teams, SharePoint, and PowerPoint, amongst other Microsoft platforms. And lastly, we would be remiss not to mention Power BI's data security and governance provisions. The platform provides robust security features to protect your data, including encryption, access controls, and compliance with industry standards. Now, this ensures that your financial data is secure and that you can share reports confidently. So by leveraging these capabilities, Power BI can transform the way you handle reporting in the finance and accounting sectors. It addresses the limitations of the built-in reporting tools we mentioned previously and provides a powerful, flexible, and secure data visualization solution. Okay, now let's get practical and let's see all of these great Power BI features in action with a demonstration. Before we do, we're going to have another poll question popping up on your screen here shortly. Okay, so for today's presentation, we've developed a very simple dashboard referencing some fictitious accounting data in order to demonstrate some of Power BI's features. So before we dive deeper into this dashboard, let's take a quick overview of our canvas. So in the top left-hand corner, we have what's called a dynamic title card. So this is going to update in order to reflect the tab we select below and the date range that we select within the date slicer or the date selector in the top right-hand corner. So this allows us to customize the range of dates that our numbers are going to show. And it's very easy to update. All you need to do is just mouse over that gray half circle and adjust your date range accordingly. And you'll see our title card is being updated to reflect that date selection, and our numbers have updated as well. Okay, so let's go through each of our reports. We got 4 here to cover today. Let's go through each of them one by one, and starting off with our income statement. So if you live in finance and accounting, you're obviously already familiar with this type of reporting. And Power BI is great in that we can replicate most, if not all, financial reports in the platform. But let's take a look at this income statement here. So in the far left-hand corner, we have our account hierarchy. So it starts off with account class at the highest level of the hierarchy, either revenue or expenses. And then we go down to account type, where we break it out a little further, breaking out revenue and expenses by either operating or non-operating. And then we have our account name at the lowest level of the hierarchy. We have the account name listed there in non-bolded text. And then moving over to the right, we have our amount column. Of course, this is the amount for that account given the selected date range up top. Then we have our budget amount as well. And then we have our variance and percentage columns. And here we're comparing the amount to the budget amount columns. Now you'll notice we have some conditional formatting applied on the variance and percentage columns. So in this case, for our revenue accounts, so our top half of the report here, these are going to show up as red when the budget amount exceeds amount. And then for our expense accounts, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to show up as red when the amount exceeds the budget amount. So this allows users to go in and quickly see accounts that we have a bigger delta on our when compared to our budget amounts. Now, if you want to see the individual journal entries that comprise the numbers that we're seeing here, we can access the drill through page right from this screen. So all we need to do is to simply right-click the number of interest, and you're going to mouse over this drill through option here and click Amount Detail. Now this brings us to the drill through page, where again we can see our information, our data at the level of each journal entry submitted. Now all the filters from the original page propagate to the drill through page, so you don't need to refilter anything here. And of course, these table visuals in Power BI are exportable into Excel for additional analysis. So in order to do this, we just need to simply mouse over the table, and you're going to see 3 dots that appear near the right-hand corner. We'll click those 3 dots, we'll click Export Data, and click Export again. And this will populate a CSV file into your Downloads folder on your local machine. Now we can click the arrow in the top left-hand corner to return to the main page. And we can also access a drill through page for our budget numbers using the same process. Okay, let's move on to our next report. This one is called Variance Analysis. And here we have a more visual representation of the variances depicted on the previous tab. So as shown, we have 2 bar charts here. The top is for the revenue accounts and the bottom is for the expense accounts. Now on the y-axis, we have our account names. And on the x-axis, we have the variance between the amount and budget amount figures. So visualizing the data in this way makes it very easy to see which accounts are the most different from their budget amounts. And again, we've applied some conditional formatting here, with the redder bars showing a bigger negative delta between the amounts and the budget amounts. Okay, moving on, our next report is IS Custom. So here we have an identical visual to the income statement we reviewed previously, but this time we've added in internal account names that live outside of our accounting system. So as you can see here, the numbers are exactly the same, but the account names have changed. So what's happening behind the scenes is that we brought in a lookup table, the one shown here, into our data model. Now this spreadsheet lives on our SharePoint site and can be updated whenever we would like. In this case, updating the column names under Custom Account Name would automatically update the names we see in our dashboard. There. Okay, and of course, we aren't just limited to generating income statements in Power BI. We can generate balance sheets, or like I said earlier, virtually any other accounting report as well. So here on the left-hand side, we have our balance sheet with account categories and account names presented alongside their current balances. And on the right-hand side, we have a donut chart that shows the existing proportions of assets, liabilities, and owner's equity in our organization. So again, I would like to reiterate that we have full customization of the dashboard canvas here. We can incorporate your organization's color scheme and logos to ensure that the end product is on brand. Now, a potential implementation of row-level security on this dashboard might be to present department managers with data pertaining to their departments only. So recall that when we went into our drill through page previously, we were able to see the details of each journal entry that comprised the numbers shown on the screen. And this included the department column, as we can see here. Now, the first step towards implementing this will be to establish another lookup table. And again, we can host this on our SharePoint site. And it could look something as simple as this. We have the departments listed under column A, the associated manager in column B, and that manager's email address in column C. And similar to our custom account names table, we could bring this into our data model and build out our row-level security rules from there. Now, the great thing about this implementation is that changing the manager associated with a department is as easy as coming into this spreadsheet and updating the manager name and email address. No advanced coding required. And lastly, I would like to reiterate the distribution options here. Again, we can populate this exact dashboard into your Teams channel in Microsoft Teams or somewhere on your SharePoint site, making access quick and easy for end users. Okay, that concludes our demo. We're going to go back into our slide deck now, where we'll have another poll question coming up on your screen shortly. Okay, so we would be remiss not to mention some of the cool AI integration opportunities within Power BI. Let's consider just one potential use case here. So let's suppose we have a table with a number of journal entries. We have a column with account number and name, and a column for journal entry description. Now, let's suppose we wanted to associate each of these journal entries to a staff member responsible for the event described. So let's say Peter is responsible for anything pertaining to building maintenance, Sherry is responsible for anything pertaining to parts, and so on. Now, the legacy manual approach would be to go through each of these one by one and allocate them accordingly. However, this would be obviously very tedious and would be ripe for errors. Now, another option would be to write an Excel formula that would scan the description for a keyword and then match that to the appropriate staff member. Now, this is a little better, but is still ripe for errors. And the presence of a keyword alone won't take into account the greater context of the sentence. So the best approach here would be to leverage AI to make these determinations for us. This approach would be 100% automated and would factor in the entire context of the sentence when allocating a staff member. So behind the scenes, we would first bring in this table into Power BI, as shown. We would then structure a call to the OpenAI API to grab the staff member name for us, given the criteria that we provide to the AI. Now, this criteria would detail the categorization schema we mentioned earlier, with anything pertaining to building maintenance going to Peter, and so on. Now, once retrieved from the OpenAI API, we could then bring in this augmented field into one of our Power BI reports for further analysis and dashboarding. Now, this is just one very simple example of how we might utilize AI within Power BI. And hopefully this has sparked some ideas of how we can utilize AI in your reporting stack to augment your data estate further. Okay, next, let's go a little bit deeper on some non-Power BI related AI applications for finance and accounting. So the first of which is computer vision. So what exactly is computer vision? Well, this is a field of artificial intelligence that enables machines to interpret and process visual data. It uses techniques like optical character recognition, or OCR, to read and extract information from images and documents. Now, this technology can be used in accounting for automating the extraction of data from invoices. Extracting key fields such as invoice number and date, amount, and vendor details from various formats like PDFs, scanned documents, and images can all be automated using computer vision. Now, this segment of AI has come a long way in the past few years. Now, in its infancy, this application of OCR required extensive model training and clean, clear scans of invoice documents and files. Now, with developments in AI, we're able to leverage this powerful technology with little to no model training. And the requirements for clean, crisp invoice scans are also a thing of the past. AI understands the context surrounding data on your invoice and can infer values where characters are obstructed or unclear. Now, the benefits to employing computer vision in your accounting workflows are twofold. So first, there are efficiency gains. OCR automates data extraction, thereby speeding up your invoice processing time. Now, this means that invoices can be batch processed in seconds as opposed to manually going through each one by one. Now, this, of course, can lead to reduced labor costs and can free up your existing workforce to complete more rewarding tasks and duties. And the second benefit pertains to data accuracy. So by automating this work, we reduce the likelihood of human errors often associated with manual data entry. By relying on AI to extract the data, we can ensure that your invoice details are captured correctly and consistently. So, in summary, computer vision is revolutionizing the way we handle invoices in accounting. By automating the extraction of key data from these documents, OCR enhances both efficiency and accuracy, leading to cost savings and freeing up valuable time for more meaningful work. Next, let's explore how natural language processing, or NLP, is enabling natural language queries of accounting data. So first off, what is NLP? Well, generally speaking, NLP is a branch of artificial intelligence that enables computers to understand, interpret, and generate human language. Now, for our use, this technology is enabling accountants to interact with data using everyday, non-technical language. Historically, in the absence of a user interface, accountants would need to collaborate with some type of data professional to translate their data requirements into some type of code. This code would then be run to generate the report needed by the accountant. But more recently, accountants utilize software packages like QuickBooks or Sage that enable self-service of this data. However, as we've discussed previously, there are some limitations to these platforms. And as we've covered, Power BI is an excellent tool for creating customized reports and dashboards to meet your specific needs. But for more ad hoc queries, NLP can allow users to submit natural language queries and receive responses in seconds. Now, in this scenario, you can submit your query in a chat interface similar to Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT, and within a few moments, your response is returned. And similar to Copilot and ChatGPT, these are conversational experiences, so you can submit follow-up questions and queries as well. So just think of the possibilities here. You can ask what the current balance is on a specific account, or ask what the accounts receivable amount is for a particular client. Now, the benefits to this type of integration are clear. So the first of which is accessibility. So here we're making data analysis accessible to non-technical users. This means that anyone in your organization, regardless of their technical expertise, can explore and understand your accounting data. Users can quickly find the information they need without having to navigate complex databases or generate sophisticated queries. And there are also efficiency gains here, as this approach speeds up the process of data retrieval and analysis. So even if you know how to write the appropriate script or create the right dashboard to answer a BI question, Using NLP is generally the fastest way to get the data you need in the format you can understand. So, in summary, NLP can help to democratize accounting data in your organization, ensuring that non-technical users can access the data that they need using, as the name suggests, nothing but natural language. Okay, so let's recap what we've learned during today's session. So Ryan kicked things off for us by discussing the advantages of putting your accounting platform in the cloud and how robot process automation can help to augment your accounting workflows. From there, we discussed the shortcomings of the reporting tools that exist natively within accounting platforms. We talked about the lack of customization in these tools and the need for manual data manipulation once the data has been exported. And of course, sharing and distributing this data can be cumbersome, especially if different stakeholders require different views or permission sets. And from there, we introduced Power BI. We talked about some of its key features, including the ability to develop fully customized reports, automate your data transformation processes, and blend data from multiple sources. And we demonstrated how one might utilize these features to produce reports that address the shortcomings of your accounting platform reporting tools. And lastly, we touched on some additional applications of AI in accounting, namely computer vision and natural language processing. So before we wrap up here, consider the following questions. Does your organization utilize an on-premises accounting software package? Do you feel stuck with the limitations of your ERP? Are you getting bogged down by manual data manipulation and report generation? Are you having to recreate the same report for multiple stakeholder groups? And are you wanting to establish a data-driven culture within your finance department? Now, if you've answered yes to any of these, you will definitely want to work with us. But if I haven't convinced you yet, let's discuss why you should consider partnering with us for your dashboarding and AI needs. So firstly, our team brings a wealth of experience in data analytics across various industry verticals, including finance, healthcare, retail, and nonprofit, amongst others. Now, this diverse experience allows us to tailor our solutions to meet your specific needs and deliver maximum value. We also have hands-on experience working with a range of accounting software packages, including QuickBooks and Sage. Now, this experience allows us to efficiently connect to your accounting platform and deploy Power BI dashboards with a quick turnaround. Now, in addition to our technical expertise, we also bring a strong background in accounting. Our team includes professionals with accounting experience, ensuring that we understand the intricacies of financial reporting and compliance. Now, this combination of technical and accounting expertise enables us to deliver solutions that are aligned with both business intelligence and financial best practices. And lastly, we have a comprehensive understanding of Power BI licensing and can guide you on what licensing approach makes sense for your specific use case. Now, we often hear from clients that Power BI licensing is confusing and convoluted, and hey, we hear you. And that's why we promise that our team will prescribe a tailored licensing approach that provides you with everything you need and nothing more. This ensures that your Power BI deployment is both efficient and gives you the best value for your money. So in summary, by partnering with us, you gain access to a team that excels in Power BI, possesses extensive cross-industry experience, and is familiar with accounting, reporting, and processes. We are committed to helping you unlock the full potential of your data, streamline your reporting processes, and drive better business outcomes. So that's all we have for today's session. If you have to jump off, I want to say a big thank you on behalf of Danny, Ryan, and myself for joining today. It's an absolute thrill and an honor to be presenting to you. But if you do have questions, please continue to submit them in the Q&A module, and we will address them as they come up.
All right, and I'm going to jump right back in there, Kyle. What I thought we'd do, we got a good queue of questions here in both the Q&A and the chat, so thank everybody in advance for submitting those. Let's stick with the BI ones first, just on the heels of your content there, Kyle. Let's quiz you, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at some of the AI questions. So first up on the BI side, can Power BI connect to industry-specific accounting packages or ERPs?
Yeah, so actually Power BI is really adaptable in terms of the data sources that can be integrated into it. I've yet to come across one that doesn't play nicely with Power BI. There's a number of native connectors right in Power BI for things like QuickBooks and Sage, but it can also connect to a SQL Server or an API. So if there's any type of external integration opportunity or application within that accounting platform, odds are we can connect to it in Power BI.
Right on. Another question came from your demo, during the demo. What other kinds of visuals can we incorporate into dashboards and reports?
Good question. Yeah, there's not too much not on the table within Power BI in terms of the different visualization options that are available. We touched on a couple. We touched on the table visual and the donut chart and the bar chart. There's also scatter plots as well, geographical maps. It can be really helpful. Decomposition trees, cards, tree maps, pretty much anything you can put your mind to. It's available in Power BI.
Right on. Sky's the limit, as they say.
Yes.
Another one here. This one again came during your demo, Kyle. I believe it was when you were talking about the journal entries and the trial balance. Does this Power BI report integrate with QuickBooks?
Yes, absolutely. QuickBooks is definitely an option. We've developed a number of QuickBooks-specific dashboards within our organization here at Convergence Networks. So yeah, we definitely have experience using that connector in Power BI.
Right on. A few more here on the BI side. This was when you were using the drill through. The question is, the place where it shows details of an expense, can I add images? I'd like to keep track of my receipts.
Yeah, so you can add images into that table visual. You can also add links. So if you have a link to that invoice, or if there's some type of PDF on your SharePoint site, we've deployed solutions before where we've just embedded a link as its own column within that table visual. So again, allows users a very easy way to go in and click that link and then go look at the invoice directly. So short answer is yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if that receipt image is saved somewhere else, as long as there's a link, we can leverage that link and get to it.
Yeah, I would suggest, a link would probably be the best bet. Embedding the image in there, it would be a little small. You might not get the readability of that invoice might be impaired as a result. So I would suggest, the link and storing those invoices on your SharePoint site somewhere. That's definitely something we can do.
Perfect. Looks like the last BI question. We'll switch back to AI questions. So thanks everybody for sending these in here. This is sort of a multi-stager one, Kyle. I'm going to try to lump it all into one. I have a feeling that the answer is yes, very likely yes. So does Power BI connect with food bank distribution inventory management system called Primaris, as well as gift processing management systems such as Razor's Edge? We've known that one from Blackbaud. And then we'd like to automate the following monthly journal entries: prepaid, unearned revenue, depreciation expenses. I'm going to say that's likely in the wheelhouse, but over to you, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not entirely familiar with the first platform that was mentioned there, but definitely Blackbaud. We have used that information with one of our current clients, actually. So we are familiar with that integration option. That's definitely on the table. Yep.
Okay. Couple of AI questions and then one that's kind of in the middle. We'll have to flip a coin, Kyle, to see who's going to answer it. First one is, how is Microsoft 365 Copilot helping users in finance with productivity. I'll take a shot at this one. It is quite easily the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to generative AI tools. This is things like meeting summaries, drafting emails, working on presentations. Again, having AI and Copilot inside of Office applications like Teams, like Outlook, like Excel as well. Quick things like conditional formatting and formula suggestions. Those are all there. Again, very low hanging fruit, but an easy way to save a minute here, a minute there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, especially when it comes to things like meeting recaps and just getting more done in less time in Office, if you will, in Microsoft Office, if you will. Another question is, how are people managing concerns about AI hallucination and data security when using AI in finance? I would say sort of a two-pronged approach here. One is going to be start slow and tentatively, be very pragmatic about what data, what databases, what tables we are integrating with AI. And then the second side of it is really test. Be very confident in a small scale with only a few stakeholders or a few users testing before something goes a little bit further org-wide. So part of our AI training, even down at the fundamentals when we're talking about prompt engineering, is sort of this, AI is prone to mistakes. Don't take it, all the time as the perfect, absolute right answer. It's just a habit that we should build. Doesn't matter if we're making PowerPoints, doesn't matter if we're writing book reports. And in this case with AI in finance, again, you're going to want to have that gut check. You're going to want to do the chin check just to make sure you have the confidence with the results.
If I could just add on one more thing, it would be very mindful of the types of AI applications and chatbots that you're interacting with. Not all of them are made equally, and not all of them have data security and those types of provisions in mind. The Microsoft suite, the Copilot suite, does offer full data confidentiality and security. So you can rest assured that when we are having that conversation with Copilot, your prompts and the responses from the Copilot aren't going to leave the context of your conversation with the AI. Other applications may not have those provisions in place, so just something to keep in mind. And also on the AI hallucination side, I would say, just to kind of build off what Ryan said, there are some prompt engineering techniques that can be really helpful, namely the chain of thought prompting technique and giving the model an out. So take a look into those. That can be very helpful in terms of mitigating the likelihood of an AI hallucination.
Right on. Okay, so final call for Q&A questions. We're almost there. Again, the full hour. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Last question here. I'm going to take a blush at it, Kyle, and then let's see how we can tag team this one. Is how to automate data from invoices and process them into batches in QuickBooks Online to save time. So what I would imagine for a solution here, again, is using computer vision, as Kyle had shown us, to basically use AI to process that invoice. Use AI to deduce maybe what kind of category, what kind of expense is this? Is it operations? Is it a utility? Is it something coming from a vendor? Does it need to go to cost of goods sold? Using AI and bringing some logic to those quick decisions. Is it over a certain dollar threshold? Does it need approval by a different department? Those types of things are, again, very easily done, even in Microsoft Power Automate, using AI Builder. And then writing those entries into QuickBooks Online, again, through API, through integration, or using on-screen desktop automation. So using automation to move your mouse around, to do keyboard shortcuts, to interact with the user interface of QuickBooks Online. We can do those batch entries for you, absolutely. And then a couple of stragglers, Kyle. Do you need a Power BI license to link QuickBooks Online to Power BI?
So if you want to experiment with the QuickBooks connector, you do not require any licensing. You could use the Power BI free license to connect to. The licensing really comes into play when you want to start sharing that dashboard or report that you've created with other individuals in your tenant. At that point, you're going to need a pro license, and all the viewers will need a pro license as well. So that's really kind of where we step into more paid territory, is really the sharing and distribution piece. Power BI is really good, though, in terms of allowing people to really get full access to the platform, with the exception of the sharing piece. You can download Power BI Desktop for free, connect to that QuickBooks information, pull it in, start building out your visuals, and start playing around with it and see if the platform is right for you. At really no charge. Again, it's just really when you start publishing to the service and start sharing with your colleagues where the pro license becomes a requirement.
Perfect. And one last one here. Do you have a running list of application integration? And is there a banking integration that would essentially fetch transaction data with the end game of matching entries in QBO, QuickBooks Online, for reconciliation? This is a pretty specific question. I'm going to say likely depends on your financial institution of choice. That might be an interesting one. If we could get your email address, or if you want to work with your contact here at Convergence Networks, let's get a conversation going on that one. It's got a little bit more nuance to it.
Yeah, we'll need a little more detail to answer definitively. My hunch is yes, but yeah, let's definitely open up the dialogue, and let's see what you're thinking here.
Perfect. Otherwise, that takes care of questions in the Q&A and chat. Again, thank you so much for a few minutes here of overtime. Otherwise, enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and we hope to see you all back very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.